Hey guys, today we're going to talk about season 3, episode number 2 of Homeland. So like I said in my last review, we get that Carrie is downward spiraling. We also got last week that she's not on her meds anymore. As this episode opens, it's so clear that she is on the freaking edge. And after the end of the last episode, when we see Saul kind of testifying before Congress and mentioning her without mentioning her name, she's done. She feels like the CIA is coming to get her and she's not going to let that happen. So she tries to go to talk to a reporter. The CIA is not going to have that. And so they put like a psychiatric hold order on her. And so she gets taken to the psych ward. Now there's a chance for her to get out, right? There's going to be a hearing. And so she calls her dad and her sister to try to get them to kind of bring the evidence that yes, she stopped taking her meds, but that she's also kind of self-medicating. We get, though, that the reason she's really spiraling is because of what happened at the CIA and this kind of pressure that she's facing. This is like the worst job for her to have. One really interesting point that came out in this episode is that we get the reason she stopped taking her medicine is because she blames the medicine for fogging her brain. So for her, not being able to think clearly is the reason that she wasn't able to figure out that somebody was going to blow up the CIA. And so she's blaming the meds, and that's why she really stopped taking them. Peter Quinn was in this episode, and he doesn't like what he sees happening to Carrie. He tries to go visit her at one point, but she's so kind of paranoid that she thinks that Saul sent him to threaten her, and he's like, no, I'm not here to threaten you, but she can't really understand that. He actually goes to Saul at one point too and tells him, like, I don't like what's happening here, like with Carrie, and basically when we're done with this, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be out. And was it just me, or did you guys think that Saul almost kind of threatened him a little bit? Because last week, of course, he made the mistake and he accidentally killed this kid when he was on a mission. And Saul brings that up at that moment. And it was just I thought that was kind of like almost a veiled threat. Let's talk about Saul, right? Because there's part of me that really hopes that Saul has a master plan. Is he really trying to protect Carrie is the big question in this episode. Or is he really doing what's going to serve his best interest? Part of me wants to believe that he is trying to protect her, because he convinces her dad and her sister that Carrie should probably stay where she's at. That's the safest place for her. And I wonder if it's not just protection from her talking to reporters, because she could get prosecuted for that. But if it's not also like, look, they're going to kill you if they feel like you're going to talk. But on the other side, Carrie being put away is good for Saul because then he doesn't have to deal with her. He can blame her and then he can kind of move on. So you guys make sure you tell me what you think about that. I'm not quite sure. I haven't quite made up my mind yet. Now, even though there was no Rhodey, we did see his family, and there was a really fantastic scene between Dana and her mom in the bathroom, which is of course where Dana tried to kill herself. It was probably the first real conversation that the two of them have had in quite a while, and I loved it. It was like really authentic and like raw, and yeah, it was just played out really, really well. Dana drives me crazy most of the time, but I must say in that scene, I was feeling her. I was feeling Dana for sure. Now, I really like Homeland quite a lot. I must say, I'm not so sure what's going on, like where we're going. I'm used to this show being like really tense and having lots of twists and turns, and I'm not feeling that yet this season. Maybe that'll come when we figure out where the heck Brody is, and when we figure out who really bombed the CIA, because I really do think that Brody was set up. So that is kind of one of the real questions that I'm hoping we're gonna get some answers to this season. We got into that just a little bit in this episode with the bankers, but I'm hoping they figure it out. Okay guys, would love of course to hear what you have to say about this week's episode. Put that down in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, click on that little button up there, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!